This is why I love human expression. It fits. It hits who I am and who I've always been. That's why I wrote this book, which is on the shelf over there. It's got a lot of poems in it. It's got some essays, some letters to my children, letters to people that I love. It's got some sad stories, it's got some happy stories. It is what it is. I didn't have a plan here, so I'll just try to pick a few things that hopefully you'll enjoy. They don't come up to speed with what I've heard. It's okay, because that's not why I wrote them. I wrote them as a catharsis and as an ongoing self-therapy. I'm 38 years sober. And part of the reason is because I learned to talk to myself and to listen and to get these things out. So those of you that shared intimate, personal stories, I commend you and I thank you for your trust in all of us. And I thank you, Richard and Kathy, for this wonderful opportunity. So let me start, if I may. I did have one thing in mind, and I told Richard this. Richard is a good friend of mine. I don't know if he would admit that. But, we recently had the big election, and I'm not going to get political here, but I am a political guy. I'm also an idealist. You may figure that out already. And so I wrote this in the early 90s, and it speaks of my idealism. God, now I gotta find it. I'm sorry.
We're not in a rush.
This is
We're not in a rush, right? There's no
case
time
of lost
limit.
idealism.
Oh, okay. So, growing up in the '60s, this little verse, this prose, I guess maybe we'll call it, centers on two quotes from John and Robert Kennedy, and they speak to my sense of idealism and transcend political party and speak to our hearts and souls, I think. It's called The Return of Camelot. And an increasing darkness fell upon the land, and so begun with the death of princes. A fatherless nation, abandoned children, the image mirrored a generation to come. Noble purpose, eloquent phrase, together they fade as light at dusk. Appointed stewards fulfill their role, stepfathers offering the facade called home. Though night had come, they dreamt no more. But fear not the morrow, the child grows. The trials of life, its greatest teachings. The nation learns, both glad and sad, truths are told. Their words ring true, and louder still, the ripple grows. And in my best Kennedy impersonation, we all share the same planet, we all breathe the same air, and we are all mortal. The victims of violence are black and white, rich and poor, young and old, famous and unknown. They are, most important of all, human beings who other human beings loved and needed.